All right, number 1 tried to confuse you again with the word what? What'd they say? But we don't even care about triangles right now. All we care about is which proportion can be used to show that the slope of AC is equal to the slope of XZ. We already know that they're equal because they fall on the same line. Does everybody understand? We know the slope from here to here is the exact same as the slope from here to here. Because slope is not size or distance. Slope is steepness. So if I was standing on a roof here, it's the same steepness as if I was standing here. Do y'all agree? Now, what was different about this problem, I need everybody's eyes on the board, paying attention, is that they didn't use numbers. And we've been using numbers, right? So what they did is they did rise over run equals rise over run, but they didn't use numbers. They used letters. So it's this simple. So everybody look. Eyes on the board. What is the rise from A to C using letters? A, B. Okay, but we're not using numbers. You're right. That's how we've been doing it, right? But look at their answer choices. They didn't use numbers. You're not wrong. It is 2, okay? But they didn't use, they just said from A to B is the rise. So what is the run right here? B to C is equal to this one's rise over run. What is the rise from here to here? XY. What is the run from here to here? YZ. So that's the only thing they did different is they didn't use numbers, they used the lines. So which answer choice says that? C. Okay, number 2. They did not ask for slope or y-intercept, did they? They didn't use those words. They also didn't use the words rate or starting point or anything like that. So what word told you what they were asking for? Each. Right here. Each, 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 each. What is each a clue word for? Slope. So you had to go to stat and find the slope. Now be careful with horizontal tables. The months is the X's and the total amount is the Y's. So it's not stacked vertically like you're used to. So you're going to go to stat, edit, clear it out. My first X is 2. So y'all look. My second X is 4. My first Y is 950. My second Y is 1300. Do y'all understand that it's just stacked horizontally instead of vertically? Okay, stat calc option 4. What is the slope? Now look, I want y'all to see that's your answer. What was the y-intercept? Did they also put that as an answer choice? They wanted to know, do you understand each month means slope? So the answer was F, 175. Now this next one I have taught you how to do, but there was 2 right answers, so you had to take it a step further. I have not showed you really how to go further, so I'm going to show you today. They gave you a coordinate right here. Now you had to determine which one is the X, which one is the Y. Okay, so it says a deep sea diver descends. What does descend means? Going down, so this number is going to be a negative. 3 feet into the water every 24 seconds. Which graph has a slope that represents this rate? Okay, you think, oh, I need to find the slope. But they already gave it to you. This is it. It's also a point that falls on the line. Okay, are y'all with me? So, what you had to do is look at the x-axis. Does everybody see the x-axis is right here? What is it labeled? So this is the x because it says seconds. I need everybody paying attention. Some of y'all have zoned out. Okay, over here is feet. That's the y. So my coordinate is an x comma y, which means 24 comma negative 3. Okay? So if I go to the x-axis to a 24, everybody look, I'm on A, and I go down 3, 1, 2, 3, is there a dot on that line? So it might be A, but I do not just pick it. I have to go check every answer. Look at B. I go to 24, I go down 3, 1, 2, 3. Is that also a point on the graph? So it might be B. Will it ever look like C? C is not showing a rate. It's showing it's always going to be -3. So no. Look at D. If I go to 24 and go down 3, is there a point on that graph? No. So it has to be A or B. How do I pick? Here's what you do. You take this coordinate and you simplify it as a rate. So I always put y over x because when we learn further lessons, you're going to learn that's what you always do. So which one of these is the y? -3 over 24. Can I simplify that in my calculator to find another point on that graph? Yes, so we go to alpha y equals, and we put in -3 over 24, and it simplifies it to -1 over 8. That means that is a point on the graph. So x is 8, y is what? -1. So you go look, which one has a point at 8, -1? We'll look at A. Go to 8, go down to -1. Does that fall on the line? No. Look at B. Does 8, -1 fall on the line? Yes. So on the STAR test, if they give you a point, you see what it falls on. If there's two answers, you take that point and simplify it as a fraction and see which other one would fall. Okay? Number 4. This one was way too easy. What did it ask for? Slope and? Okay, go to the y-intercept, touch it. Where's it touching the y-axis at? -2. Which answer choices can I mark off? G, because it says +2, and H doesn't even say anything about 2. Okay? Now, could you have used stat for slope? Could you have done rise over run? But y'all didn't even have to. Look at this. This slope is what? +2. This slope is what? -1/2. So you just look at it. What kind of slope is this? What would slope dude say? Nice negative. Has to be J. But yes, you could have used stat. You could have used rise over run. Or you could have just looked at it, said one's positive, one's negative. Which one is it? All right. Now this one is a challenging question. I'm going to show y'all why. It gives you a table, so you know you can use what? You know you can use stat. But it didn't ask for slope or y-intercept. It said which statement is true. So you don't know if it's asking for slope or y-intercept. Look at choice A. The one-time fee is $45. What is that talking about? Slope or y-intercept? This is talking about B, y-intercept. Write that down. But look at choice B. The additional fee to rent each game is $37.50. Each is a clue word for, this one's talking about slope. Look at C. The one-time fee is $70. What's that one talking about? Y-intercept. One-time fee is the B. Okay, look at D. The additional fee to rent each game is $18.75. What is each a clue word for? So this one gave slope and y-intercept, but it made you interpret each answer choice to see what they were talking about. So we're going to go to stat and get both answers and then just see which one's correct. So I'm going to go to stat edit. I'm going to only put in 2 points, so 3 and 6, 82.50, and 120. Oh, y'all can't even see what I'm doing. Stat, calc, option 4. All right, what is the slope? What is the slope? 12.5. What is the y-intercept? 45. Which one is correctly answered? A. All right, number 6. This is the same type of question we had just a second ago. They're going to give you a point. You have to see which graph it falls on. So it says Dahlia makes beaded bracelets to sell. She uses 126 beads to make 7 bracelets. I have to figure out which one's the X and which one's the Y. Pay attention. Go to the X-axis. What is it labeled? That means this has to be the X. This has to be the Y. So I say my coordinate is 7, 126. And then I just go see which graph is correct, but I do not pick it just because one is. We have to check every graph. So let's go to A, F. So I'm going to go to 7, go up. Could this dot be at 126? 126 would be like up here. So no. Go to G, go to 7, go to 126. Is that graph at 126? No. Go to H, go to 7, go up to 126. Could that be it? Yes, so I put a check mark. It might be the answer. Go to J, go to 7, go up to 126. Could that be the answer? Yes. So what do I do next with these points? Make a fraction in, simplify to get another point. Always put y over x just because it's a good habit. You'll see why in a future lesson. So I'm going to do 126 over 7. What did I get? So if I have 18, what would the bottom number be? 1. So 118 is another point on that line. Okay, look at H. 118. Would that be a good dot? Looks like it. Let's go to J. 118. Yes or no? No. So the answer was H. Are y'all seeing how to do those when there's 2 right answers? Take the 2 numbers, make a fraction, and simplify. Okay? All right, this one. This one was too easy. They said, what is the slope? How did y'all do it? Stat? Did anybody do rise over run? Maybe 1 or 2 people. All right, let's look at stat first. But if I want to use stat, what do I have to have? I have to have a table. They gave me the coordinates, and again, it doesn't matter if I put this one or this one first. It just matters that I put these numbers together. Okay, so I go to stat edit. -6, -2, -3, +3. Stat calc 4. What's my slope? 1.5. Do any of the answers have decimals? No, so where do I go? My home screen and turn this into a? So 1.5 math fraction inner is really 3/2. So if I did rise over run, I would have gotten my rise to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over 1, 2, 3, 4. And 6 over 4 also simplifies to 3/2. So either way, you would have had the correct answer. Pay attention, we're almost done. Number 8, this one was way too easy and y'all probably overthought it. Now it was missing a point. This should have been labeled point S. Right here, eyes on the board. This should have been labeled point S. Go label it. Okay, what do y'all see? I see a straight line with 2 triangles, which makes rise over run, yes? I know that the slope from here to here is the same as the slope from here to here. Why do I know that? Because they fall on the same line. The slopes are the same. F says the slopes are equal. So that's probably it. Let's look at G. The slope of QS is less. But do you think students will pick that because it's smaller? They're going to pick it because it's smaller. But you have to know slope doesn't mean smaller. Slope means steepness. H says the slope of LN is greater. Some people will pick that because LN is bigger. But slope doesn't mean bigger. J says there's no relationship. Yes, there is. The slopes are the same. They are equal. Okay, go to number 9. This one was way too easy. What was each answer choice asking for? Rate of change, which rate of change really means slope and y-intercept. So could I just use stat? Yes, so I go to stat edit. I'm only going to put in 2 points, 2, 4, 4, -1. Stat calc, option 4. I'm going to write down my slope is -2.5. My y-intercept is 9. Which one has that answer? D. And last question. Which statement best describes Davis's hourly rate? What is rate a clue word for? Slope. So you could have done rise over run, or you could have done stat. Were they counting by ones? No. So was rise over run safe? No, I should use stat. So I need 2 points. Is it passing through 0, 0? Yes. Now, I thought it was passing through 670, but it was actually passing through 880. This was not a really great picture. This was bought from like a third party, so just know on the STAR test, it's going to be clear as day what it's passing through, but it's passing through 890. If you chose 670, you would have gotten an answer very similar, so you would have just picked the closest answer, but it wouldn't have been perfect, okay? So I go to stat edit. I clear out my list, 08 and 090. Stat calc, option 4. What is the slope? 1125. So the answer was G. If you would have picked that other point, 670, you would have gotten like 11 point something else. So you just picked the closest answer. Yeah. Okay, you're going to put your answers in the Google Classroom. You are going to keep this copy. It is part of your study guide because your CBA is Tuesday.